Hey, what's going on, guys? KitsuneTCG here, back with another video, and today I thought I would just go ahead and look at what we could possibly expect to see in a ban list, or what at least I would hope would be a good ban list going into the WCQ season. Now, obviously, we are getting really close to the event, under a month for the North America WCQ. I hope that we would get a ban list by the end of this week or early next week. Any later than that, and we definitely just get, too close to the event for people to pick up cards and do any testing. So at that point, I hope they wouldn't do a last-minute ban list the week before. So, obviously it'd be nice to get something, just because Snake Eyes is just way too overpowered at this point. The event is just going to be essentially 70% at least Snake Eyes, and then some other stuff just kind of filtered in there. So I would hope that we would get something to make the event a little bit more interesting, a little bit more competitive, but we'll just have to see. But I figure kind of go over at least what I would like them to do, and I think that would make the format just a little bit better, a little bit more fun. So starting with Voiceless Voice, obviously the deck has just fallen off as new things have come out. You'll probably still see a top here or there at some events next month, but I don't think the deck is anywhere near as strong as it was when it first came out. So, I don't think it warrants any hits. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. Same thing with like Atinado. It's seen like a few tops here and there, but I don't think that it's done enough to warrant any hits before any big events. I think it's just fine where it is. It's not super oppressive. If you bring down the power level of Snake Eyes, it's not gonna all of a sudden become like the best deck or anything. And I think the same with Yubel. I think if we were to hit Snake Eyes, Yubel would definitely be a contender to be one of the best decks, and I think Konami would probably like that a lot. So I really just don't even expect them to think about hitting Yubel at this point. Plus, I think they probably want that to be a pretty good deck for Worlds, so I think that one will remain untouched for a little bit. For Sengen, I could see them semi-limiting it for the event. I don't think they would go as far as limiting it, just because obviously we still haven't gotten info. That's going to be a new set for us at the WNACQ. So for that reason, I think the most they would do is a semi-limit. They might not even touch it, just because it really hasn't done a whole lot in big events, but maybe just enough to hit a little bit of consistency. Now, we did definitely see a lot of Sanctifier Dragon and the Puppet Lock throughout the months, and I think that is definitely something that just has to go. In a lot of areas you can't respond to it, and it just makes non-games, and I think we're past the point where this should go. Obviously, I think they'll keep the Puppet around. There's no reason to keep Albion. There's so many other monsters they could just summon and lock to you, so just gotta get rid of the problem. Now, Branded Fusion, I could see them leaving it unlimited and really only hitting Albion. They really seem to like just leaving Branded at almost full power, but I could see maybe for this they would semi-limit it just to hit it a little bit, make it to where you have to maybe add it a little bit more versus just hard opening it, which every Branded player seems to do. So I think putting it to 2 would be just fine. From there, I could see them bringing back Kirin and Plushfire. Obviously, Plushfire has the new errata, so I think that would be just fine to come back. And same with Kirin. We really haven't seen anything out of the Magic Specters, so I think Kirin would be fine to come back. I don't think it's going to make the deck any more competitive, but I think a lot of people really enjoy the deck, so they'd probably be pretty happy for that. I don't think they're going to unban Electromite. I think it'd be fine. I don't think it would do anything to the format, but yeah, I just think they're going to leave that there. I don't even think they remember the card exists. Getting into actual Snake Eye hits, I think we have to re-limit Skill Drain. It just fits too well with that deck. Just being able to send it, to get rid of it and then kind of go about your combos on your turn. Really not fun to go against, and I think just putting it back to 1 is where it should be and probably where it should stay. Where we get into the kind of like main Snake Eye hits are interesting. I think that if they decide to ban Flameburge, nothing else really needs a hit aside from maybe limiting Wanted. But if they just choose to, maybe limit Flameburge, I don't think really people are playing more than one copy anyway, then we'd have to ban something like Oak and limit Ash to kind of maybe even it out a little bit. Again, like I said, I would be more happy if they just banned Flameburge, but I don't think they want to kill the deck completely. So I can maybe see Oak going, and then perhaps the original Sinful Spoils. And then at that point, I don't think really Wanted needs anything too big to it. And then Zelantis, same thing. I think if you hit a lot of these other problem cards, I don't really think it itself warrants anything, but if they, maybe decide to keep a bit of these things around, then I think that's where you would change on, like, Wanted or Zelantis. But the way this would play out, I would be just fine. Obviously, your consistency would be a lot less in Snake Eyes, and your ceiling would be much lower as well, and I think that would be a lot more competitive going into the next format. Calamity, I definitely understand wanting to ban it, but I don't think Centurion is doing near enough. I think Centurion has some interesting plays with White Wood, so maybe they keep it around a little bit longer to kind of sell that. Yeah, there's no reprint money they can make off of this card. They put it as rare, so, I could see it being banned, but I think for now it's just not doing enough for it to warrant a ban. I don't see it happen or resolve often enough, so I think it's fine where it is. Prosperity is obviously, been hit on the OCG ban list. I don't think we're going to hit it. I don't think we're to the point where that is something that the TCG wants to do. At most, it would be semi-limited, but I think it would actually just stay at unlimited. I've seen people, say they want Shifter banned, which I think is obviously most everybody. It just synergizes too well with strategies to stay around. I've seen some people say that they think it'd be semi-limited, which I don't really think makes a lot of sense. It just really just kind of makes it a little bit more sacky, which I guess is better than nothing, but I don't think they're going to touch it. I think it's really going to either be at 3 or they're going to ban it. And I don't think that we're to the point now where that's what the TCG is going to do. I would hope that they ban it. I think that would be amazing, but I don't think they're going to touch it. Misk is a personal hope that they bring back to at least 2. I think 3 would obviously be just fine. The dinos aren't nearly what they were when this card was limited, so I think 3 would be fine, but I know a lot of times they just like to test things and bring it back slowly. Kit, I'm sure a lot of people would like to see back at 1. I don't know if they want to release it, but I think that it would be interesting. I think that would add another deck to the format, so I could maybe see them bringing it back, but especially maybe to sell the Pote reprints in the 10s. I think that could be interesting, so maybe they bring that back. Heavy Storm we did see come back in the OCG, so I could see that coming back to 1 here in the TCG. Change of Heart is currently at 1 for us. I could see them doing the same thing, bringing it back to 2, bringing it to 2. I think that would be pretty interesting. I think it's just fine. And then finally, Circular is currently banned. I could see them bringing it back to 1. I don't know why they banned it. It's a great card, yes, but it definitely was not, I think, worthy of a ban. Mathmech was a nice rogue deck, but nothing more than that, so I'd hope they bring it back. It's an interesting strategy that I think a lot of people enjoyed, so that's definitely a little bit more of a hope versus anything I expect to see, but yeah, that's just kind of what I was looking at and thinking. Obviously, there might be some things I missed. Definitely let me know down below if there's a card that you think should be hit, should be unhit, or, just what you would hope for a ban list going forward, but I will see y'all next time.